and some will not. So you can check it out and see if your phone will play both together, or you could play it on another device. I think music is a really important part of restorative yoga, especially if there's external noise, children or dogs or traffic or whatever. It's nice to have something soothing that might not be, that would jolt you out of a meditation, like the neighbor's really big, large dog that can get loud out of nowhere. But then again, that can be part of our practice also in being able to let go of things that we're powerless over, right? So as you prepare for class tonight, I'm going to ask you to get a couple of things. Find a chair that you can bring to the end of your mat. And it's helpful if your feet will fit through the chair. If there are holes in the back of the chair and your feet will fit through, a chair is very helpful. A bolster or 3 regular pillows are a good idea. If you weren't in class last week, I showed how I took a sleeping bag, and instead of folding that sleeping bag in half before I rolled it up, I just rolled it up and tied it together with some soft like scarves, because bungee cords aren't comfortable to lay on. So get rid of that bungee cord if you have a sleeping bag, or rolling up a bedspread or some sort of dense type of blanket can roll up, and put that in a couple of pillowcases, and voila, you have your own homemade bolster. A couple of pillows, small pillows, are good for under your knees. They're really nice support underneath your tailbone. And of course, by all means, a nice, cozy, soft blanket for extra leverage and padding and comfort. So I can see your faces on here, some of you. So just go ahead and get in your spots. I know you might be looking for things still. Getting comfortable with those props. And eventually making your way to easy pose, whatever easy pose is for you tonight. Might be sitting in your chair. You might want to start out in that chair. Or it might be sitting up on the bolster if that's what's most comfortable for your hips. But find what works for you. Begin to lengthen your spine. Feel the crown of your head gently reaching for the ceiling. And as you take a deep breath in, imagine the collarbone is rising upward as you fill the lungs with breath, the lower lungs, the belly. So we begin to breathe deeply and fully, relaxing the shoulders down and away from the ears. You can use your small pillows under your knees. And you may want to take your blanket and put it behind your back. And just maybe sit on the very edge of that in order to lift your tailbone up just a bit. And always, always, we come back to the breath, breathing deeply and fully. Noticing that breath in the belly, seeing the belly rise and fall. If this practice is new to you, if you haven't really explored the breath moving in the belly, you may want to just put your hand on your belly and feel that rising and falling, making sure the breath is moving all the way down that center channel. And we breathe in deeply, dramatically, if you will, with a vibration, and then exhaling fully every bit of stale air out. And as you breathe in, counting at your own rhythm, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then exhaling, lengthening the exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as we practice breathing in this way, we're relaxing, centering, and stimulating our vagus nerve. So we begin our practice with the relaxation technique of deep belly breathing, feeling the chest rise on the inhale, and then exhaling fully and completely. So in restorative yoga, we work with the vagus nerve. That nerve starts in the very top of the neck, and it moves down through the spine like a vagrant is where it got its name, just moving throughout the body. And as we breathe deeply and fully, we stimulate and begin a vibration with that nerve. And when that nerve is stimulated, vibrated, it turns off the anxiety, the fight, flight, or freeze syndrome. It turns it off. Isn't that great? You can relax a little deeper with that. And so as we center ourselves, maybe opening your palms up and out to the side, just opening your arms up here, beginning to stretch the hands open and letting the arms come up gently, gently and slowly, no need to hurry. It's a slow moving class, reaching fingers towards ceiling, feeling the lengthening, the vertebrae, lengthening the spine, reaching upward. Neck is relaxed here, shake it loose a little bit. Roll the palms outward and actively reach out. Feel the stretch in the fingertips and the backs of the hands and the forearms all the way up to the shoulders, and let the palms float down and rest on the mat. Always coming back to that centered breathing, that deep, full breathing. Hopefully you have a block or a stack of books, as we've mentioned in the class before, but put in that block right in front of you. Let's stand it up, or you could use your pillows and your bolster. Another option would be to put that bolster in front of you. If you don't have a block and the pillow, that can work as well, or two pillows. Just build it any way you want. This is a building class. So whatever works for you, we're going to put that bolster in its highest point. And again, adjusting our legs, allowing the knees to get a little closer to the ground, or if your knees are out in front of you, that's fine too. We're going to bring our attention to the crease in our hips. We think about our back remaining flat, our neck and chin in alignment with the spine. We're going to hinge forward at the hips, just gently folding forward and bringing our head down to the corner of this block. Bringing our head down and just letting the corner of the block rest right between your eyebrows. Your back remains flat. Roll your palms down toward the floor. Finding a comfortable resting position for your palms, your arms, your shoulders. Breathe deep into the belly. Visualizing that straight spine, neck in alignment. And breathe all the way down into the base of the belly. Seeing if you can lengthen the inhale and then lengthen the exhale. And then we're going to bring the block down another level, again pointing that corner right in between your eyebrows. Seeing if you can drop a little more. Don't force it, especially if you have back or neck issues. Do what feels comfortable for you. Our practice is the deep rhythmic breathing. Beginning to slow the mind down. And if you'd like to take your block down another level, you can do that. Again, not forcing. Respecting your body, any tightness or tension. You might notice stretching in the lower spine and the lower back. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed, and then walk your hands out gently to the sides, just looking for a little stretch in the shoulders, again not forcing. If it's available to you, you can bring your head all the way down to the floor. Listening to your breath, feeling that vibration. walk your hands all the way towards center, walk them out, up your head. Walking those fingertips out, feeling a different stretch in the lower spine. And 2 deep inhales and exhales here, and then gently walk yourself up. Back into that alignment, sitting up straight and tall, back into the deep breathing. Now you might have wondered about that chair. We haven't used the chair much in this class, but tonight I thought we all might need a little extra attention here. Even if your chair is really cushioned, take your blanket with a little more cushioning there. We really want to be gentle with ourselves here, and we are going to work with our legs on the chair. So the same method works if you're going to move into legs up the wall, but the chair is maybe a little gentler overall. So we're going to take our hips, we're going to move our hips right to the corner of that blanket, or you can use the blanket or a pillow, soft pillow underneath your hips. Our goal would be to lift our hips up just a little bit higher than the rest of the spine. So we're going to sit here and we're going to just twist our legs over. Hopefully there's room to put your feet out through the back of the chair. If not, you might need to turn your chair sideways. And go ahead and help yourself to lay back. So with restorative yoga, we don't want to do sit-ups and really work the muscles in those ways. We want to just find that place of relaxation. Roll your palms open. Pull your arms down away from your ears. Walk your shoulders away. I invite you to close your eyes and begin to sink in again with your breath. Notice as your body relaxes into the mat where you're supported. Any adjustments that you need to make, go ahead and do that. Now you're not always going to see me in the same posture that you are in. So just know that right now you need to have the legs in the chair and allow that support. So for me, having experienced a lot of Zoom classes online, I know that there are all those pulls in your homes to go turn off that light, go close that blind, all those things, all those distractions at home that we don't have in our yoga studios, but ignore that. It's part of your practice. Close your eyes and just breathe deeply and fully. So a quote from Deepak Chopra, he's pretty wise. Relaxation is the precondition to all healing. If we can't fully relax, we're limiting our body's ability to heal and restore. And with all the challenging energy out in the world today, whether you feel challenged personally or not, the energy of others in the places we go, or turning on the radio or the TV, certainly affects us. No matter how deep our spiritual practice is, you can't get away from the effects right now. Most of us can't anyway. So breathe in the word let and exhale the word go. And ask yourself, what is it that you need to let go of tonight? Are there any people, places, or things that are affecting your peace? And exhale that out. As you follow the rhythm of your breath, look for any tension or tightness. Maybe starting in the face. Do you have any tension in the forehead, around the eyes and the jawline, chin, throat, neck, shoulders, collarbone region? Moving down that spine, looking for tightness, looking for any emotion or unresolved issues that may be hiding behind the shoulder blades or all the way down in the lower back and the hips. Or the knees, that's another place to notice. Feet and ankles. Breathe into those places of tension. Breathe in with awareness. And send the prana, the energy, send it into those places so they can heal. So those muscles can restore. And as we breathe with awareness, ask yourself what brought you to this class tonight. What is it you're seeking? Meditating this way in a group can empower us to go a little deeper. The guidance of following the breath gives the busy mind something to do. And we allow that breath to relax our nervous system, to settle a little deeper with every inhale and every exhale. So if it feels right to you, you can stay wherever you need to be tonight. But if it feels right, bring your right knee into your chest. And maybe you wrap your hands around your knee or around your calf and bring that knee in and start to move that around a little bit. Bring it out to the side. See about loosening up the hips and how that feels. Maybe roll the ankle around, stretch out the foot. And then let that right leg come back to rest on the chair and bring the left leg in. Roll the ankle around, stretch the toes, whatever feels good to you. Bring the knee out to the side body. See if that deepens the stretch. Let that come back to the chair, and then just walk yourself away from the chair, maybe coming up onto your mat a little more. And find a place where you can move that chair out of the way, push it out of the way with your foot, move the blanket over or whatever gives you a little more space. Stretch those legs out, reach the arms overhead. Point your toes, flex your feet, roll the wrist around. Start to loosen up, roll the heels back and forth. And then bring that right knee up again into the chest. And roll the right knee across the body while the left leg remains stretched out. And use your palm to pull that a little closer, again, not forcing. Find what works for you. So your left hand is pulling your right knee a little closer to the floor. Left leg is reaching down. You might want to point that left toe. And breathe into the muscles where you feel that the most. See if you can keep your right shoulder closer to the floor. Right hand over here is down on the floor also. And then go ahead and release that. Stretch out the right leg. Come back to center. That right leg might feel a little longer than the left right now, so pull that left knee into the chest again. Wrap your hands around your calf, and then use your right palm to pull the knee all the way over to the opposite side. Leaving left shoulder as close to the mat is what works for you. Stretching right leg out. Breathing into the muscles. You might want to look out over your left shoulder, giving your neck a gentle stretch here. Again, not forcing. Roll your neck in one direction and then the other. And go ahead and release that. Bringing knees back to center. Knees pointed toward the ceiling. And windshield wipe your knees back and forth, just loosening up the hips. We're going to bring ankle to knee, right ankle to left knee, or whichever side you want, doesn't really matter. And then pull the left leg into the chest. Seeing if you can feel the center of your back meeting the mat. Breathing into the stretch. And allow your left foot to come back down, release the knee, and repeat on the opposite side. It's typical to have one side tighter than the other. This is a great stretch for lower back issues, hip pain, discomfort. Feels right to roll back and forth, you can do that, one side and the other. And then release both feet down. Bring the knees up and create a circle with your knees. 2 or 3 rotations in one direction and then the other. And then let the feet come down. And then this is really important in restorative if you're new to this. Roll to one side. And it's like a one-arm push-up, coming all the way up, not using too much muscle. You don't want to go into like a sit-up kind of thing. I think I mentioned that before. If you do that, it can sometimes cause cramping or just get more muscles involved than what you really want. So take your bolster now to the very top of your mat, and that extra pillow that you have, and that extra blanket, and you're going to build a ramp in a different way than you do here at the studio because our props are different, right? So we're going to take this and you're going to fold that blanket at the top and put that right at the top of that pillow, and you've got another kind of a ramp. And you know what's really great? At home, leave this in the same place and you can do this anytime you want, right? As long as you give yourself permission to do that. I know it's kind of hard when we're not at a class, but we're going to bring our hips all the way to the back of the bolster. We find the alignment in the spine, the alignment with the chin, and we use our arms as support to just allow ourselves to lay back Move the pillow around, the blanket around, any way that is best in order for you to feel that support. It's really important that your neck is supported here. And then open up your palms, open up the elbows. The traditional Savasana opening. You can stretch your legs out, you can cross your legs, whatever works for you. You can use extra pillows under the knees or bolster supports if your knees are up higher, that's okay. Everybody looks different in this posture, so whatever works for you. Try a couple of different things with your legs, with your feet. See what's most restful, what's most relaxing. And as we allow the support underneath us, we feel the sternum opening, we feel our heart space. Maybe if you'd like, take your hand and put it on your chest. Another hand on your belly, and breathing into the heart and all the way down to the belly. Reconnecting with the breath again. If you have fatigue in your shoulders, if they're tired and it feels best to let them come down to your side, that's okay. Breathing with that rhythm, pulling the breath in all the way down into the lowest part of the belly. We fill the belly. We fill the lower lobes of the lungs, the upper lobes, the heart space, and we feel that internal expansion. Our mind can follow the breath, or we can just let our mind sink into the quiet stillness. Whatever practice works for you, centering, calming, relaxing. Allow yourself to rest and calm and find that posture. It's just right for you tonight. Make any adjustments in the hips and the legs. And breathing with that rhythm. Energy is the currency of the universe. When you pay attention to something, you buy that experience. So when you allow your consciousness to focus on someone or something that annoys you, you feed it your energy. And it reciprocates the experience of being annoyed. Be selective in your focus, because your attention feeds the energy of it and keeps it alive. Not just with you, but in the collective consciousness as well. So I ask you, what are you paying for today with your attention and in your daily life? Breathe that awareness in. Are you giving attention to things that are beyond your control? Things that affect your peace and serenity? If you haven't done so already, set your intention for what it is you need tonight. Perhaps it's to find some new awareness or clarity, or it could be to let go. So let that gentle rhythm of breath rock you and relax you. after that next full inhale and exhale, prepare to slowly roll to one side of your bolster, and using your arms to gently lift yourself back up. Coming into a seated posture, lengthening your spine again, relaxing the shoulders, and feeling the collarbone rise on the inhale, and on the exhale, allow the chin to gently drop to meet the collarbone, feeling that stretch along the back of the neck, feeling the lengthening in the spine, the spaciousness between the vertebrae that you're creating here, and the stretch. Collarbone rises to meet the chin. And then slowly begin to roll right ear toward right shoulder, pulling left shoulder down and away. Closing your eyes to take a look at the internal landscape. And then slowly begin to roll back to center, this time pausing. Anywhere you feel any tightness or tension, just pausing for a few seconds, a little while. Seeing if you can loosen up those tight places. Eventually making your way back to center. And then beginning to roll left ear toward left shoulder. Right shoulder pulls down and away. Popping and cracking's normal. Tendons moving over bones. Air in the joints. Doesn't mean you're old. Breathe into that. Allow the eyes to relax, closed. And then begin to roll back towards center, remembering to pause this time. And when you arrive at center, raising your head up, and roll right shoulder up, back and around, left shoulder up, back and around, both shoulders together, back and around. Relaxing and settling. Our bolster's in place, but we're going to move the top portion of that and bring your hip, either hip, to the end of the bolster. And we're going to work with a twist. A twist is really great for the spine, really good in releasing muscle tension and tightness. So our torso is in alignment with the bolster. We're sitting up straight and tall, and you can stack your knees, but another way that's a little more restful to the hips is what we call deer pose. And so to show you deer pose, I'm going to have my top knee, my bottom foot on my top knee, so it's a little bit easier to see in this way. And when I'm on the floor, I'll bring my top knee to the floor, and my bottom foot is on top of my knee. And then as I face my bolster, I'm going to gently walk down and allow the support of that bolster. And look out over your knees, allow your shoulders to relax. Find a restful position for your arms, for your hands. If you need to stretch your hands overhead, your arms overhead, you can do that, but bring them back into a relaxed posture here. Allow your eyes to close and sink in again. Sink in with the breath and allow yourself to settle. Notice how the breath relaxes and soothes and feeds your spirit the nourishment from that deep rhythmic breathing. I'm sure all of us need to allow this more as we move through our days. If we can breathe deeply and fully in times of challenge, in times of fatigue, the prana will feed our energy and our spirits. It will change the way we see things, people, circumstances. So in this practice now, we're learning to use this more fully and efficiently. Breathing deep into the muscles and the tight places, the areas of tension and fatigue. Allowing the settling and the relaxation to go a little deeper. Allowing our bodies to sink into the support, the bolster and the mat. If you'd like, you can turn your head and look in the other direction for a deeper stretch into the neck. But again, not forcing. If you have a lot of neck tension or pain or old injuries, you may not want to do that at all. Always looking for what's right for your body in this moment. After that next complete inhale and exhale, with as little effort as possible, use your arms to walk your way up. Coming back into a seated position and switching to the other hip to the edge of the bolster. Not moving the bolster, just turning your body around. Bringing your torso into alignment, your feet into deer pose if that works for you. Feet and hips into deer pose and walking yourself down gently. Finding that just right spot for support, for that deep relaxation. And as you breathe in, ask yourself, what is it in me that needs to be healed tonight? Is there something physically or something mentally and emotionally? Is it pain that's current? Or is there old pain and trauma? Meditation, restoration is healing, mentally and physically. The soul always knows what to do to heal. The challenge is to slow down the mind so we can hear what our soul is trying to tell us. So we can hear the messages that come in from around us. So often the messages are here time and time again, and our busy mind prevents us from hearing. Is there anything I am pretending not to know? Anything that I stay so busy I don't have to look at? And so the world has slowed most of us down. We've slowed down in order to heal and restore and renew. The universe has just changed things so dramatically. What is it I need to change? Where do I need to grow? Breathe in with awareness. If you'd like, you can gently turn your head in the other direction, seeing how that feels. Remember, no pinching, no pain. After your next exhale, prepare to come up gently and slowly. And we're going to bring that bolster whenever you're ready. There's no hurry, no rush. We're going to bring that bolster more toward the center of our mat. And this is going to look a little different depending on the length of your torso. So, sitting on the bolster, more toward the top of the bolster for me. I'm 5'4", so you'll have to adjust according to your height. So I'm going to lay back here. I'm going to gently allow my arms to allow me to lay back. And then I'll adjust the bolster right underneath my hips. Maybe your back needs a little different adjustment. Figure out where that fits for you. That's going to be right along the spine, middle spine to hips, bringing your knees, letting your knees rest together, allowing your arms to rest open again. If you're starting to feel chilly, you can cover up. The sun's going down, so sometimes that happens. You've been resting. So allow yourself to cover up, bring your knees together, feet out to the side, and find a restful position for your feet. Restful position for your hips. Walk the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe walk the arms away. See how that feels. You can put your arms up in cactus or like a goalpost. See how that feels to you. That'll open up the chest a little bit more. Just noticing what feels best. Sinking in with the breath. As you breathe in, see if you can hear those ocean waves, allowing the breath to vibrate in the back of the throat. And as you create the sound of the ocean waves in the throat, imagine yourself laying comfortably on a warm beach under the moonlight, breathing, settling and supported by the sand and the breeze and the peaceful energy that's surrounding you. Breathe that in. And create, allow your mind, your creative energy to create a picture of the moon glowing on the ocean. Feel the ocean breeze. And hear some music off in the distance, coming from way down on the beach, just to soothe and settle you. Relaxing and calming with every inhale and every exhale. Hear the sound of the ocean waves inside of you and outside of you. Watch those waves glisten on the water, the moonlight shining deep into the water and lighting up the earth around us with a peaceful, gentle calm. Just allowing that to sink in. Seeing that our mind can give us a peaceful, restful, healing vision whenever we allow ourselves to settle give ourselves the support and the spaciousness and the time that we need. Whenever you feel ready, lift your hips up just enough to push that bolster out of the way. And then roll over to one side using your arm as a pillow. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe curling your torso around towards your knees into seed position. And then again, whenever you're ready, no hurry. Using your arms in that side push-up kind of way. Come up gently. And we're going to prepare for our very last posture of the night, our Savasana. I know that many of you that come to this class regularly have a favorite Savasana posture, or you could choose something that we've already done. If it felt really good to you, you could choose to go back into something like that. You could put your legs in the chair again. You could put your legs up the wall. You could use the bolster underneath your knees and pillows. Lots of choices, lots of choices. So if you're new to this, you might be overwhelmed by the choices, so just pick any one. They're all good. You can take your pillows behind you, cover up with that blanket, and allow your body to really relax and restore here. Just finding the posture that's right for you. What it is you need a little more of. And laying back. Opening up those palms. Opening up the arms, allowing the shoulders to relax. Adjusting the hips in any way that feels right for you. And begin to sink back in with that rhythm of breath. Seeing if you can create that sound of the ocean waves in the very back of your throat. Finding the deep stillness and quiet. And knowing that if your mind begins to wander, you can always bring yourself back to the awareness of the breath. As we sink deeply into the silence, we trust that this practice was exactly what we needed tonight. Very gently, we'll bring ourselves back into the space, into awareness. Whatever posture you're in, allow yourself to gently roll to one side again, resting on your side. Slowly coming up into a seated position. Bringing ourselves back up, we bring our hands to our heart space, resting our thumbs on our sternum, sitting up tall, relaxing our shoulders. Breathing in deeply and bringing to mind gratitude and awareness. Seeing what other words come to mind. What comes to your mind and your heart right now. And hold that between your hands. And if you join me together, we will say namaste to everyone that was in this class that we hold as a vision. Thank you for coming. We've got a really nice circle here tonight.